Wakabe, nulo, honru, pastel, chin chin, chape, oh, jamane.
Mensaje aclaratorio.
Statement of clarification. The information presented in this video are the humble views or reflections of the participants who understand that they are not the sole representatives of either Mayan culture or Guatemala. Mayan culture arose long before the arrival of the Spaniards to Mesoamerica, in what is now southern Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and parts of Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Guatemala is considered the heart of the Mayan world, as research has found most traces of its origins there, as well as the vigour and life of the Mayan people in the 21st century. The matter of when it arose is related to the counting of time, which Mayan culture masters, and which continues to this day through the time counters and guides in the communities.
Para nosotros, digamos, la cultura maya significa, ¿verdad? Podríamos decir como una eternidad, ¿verdad?
For us, Mayan culture is an eternity, a culture which from our ancestors and ourselves in the present and those who will come, Mayan culture will continue to flourish.
Va a ir como floreciendo.
Oh, colegas sacerdotes Maya, ¿cómo andas? Como hacha que tapa la Biblia, rechle, ¿qué evangelio más bien? Ri Moisés es aquí.
The history of the work of Mayan priests comes from the times when there were neither doctors, nor pills, nor injections. The times when the scriptures talk of Moses. Yeah, of Moses, of the Apostle James, Saint Gaspar, Saint Bartholomew, Saint John the Baptist, and the three kings are Mayan priests. Before Jesus, since there has ever been suffering in the world, people have gone to Mayan priests. They are the support for the people, for those who have faith in them. Your work, Doctor, is also correct, very important, and brings great benefits. That is why this health post exists. We thank you for your coordination, Dr. Annabella Perez. And the previous coordinator, Mario Rivers, for the confidence you have in our work. That is the history and faith that exists.
Convivimos estas personas, este monte que hace como 5.500 años ya comenzamos como 5.000.
Our knowledge began with our ancestors about 5,600 years ago. Yeah, about 5,000.
Gracias a Dios, nuestro Dios le da nuestra vida a toda la gente y gracias a Dios estamos vivos.
Thanks be to God, we continue treating people in this life. Thanks be to God, we are here, helping people. Because other religions, what do? They have been working here for about 30 years. Our grandparents lived about 130 years in this world. Today, we do not live that long, but we continue to use knowledge handed down from our ancestors.
Es cierto de que no ha habido mucha oportunidad dentro del país para desarrollarse.
It's true that there has not been much opportunity for Mayan culture to develop within the country, but it does, and it is part of us. We identify with it, and we are happy and content to continue practicing and projecting our Mayan culture as Mayas, as the Mayan people.
Del pueblo, ¿no? El sistema de salud, ¿verdad? Maya.
The Maya health system, the indigenous system, we could say there are several aspects in which there are different prognoses or possible scenarios for its future development. There is the present tendency, let's say the trend as of now, where it will not be able to develop. The tendency at the moment, with the present policies, is for Occidental culture to be developed. And we can see there is exclusion of Mayan culture, and that is a situation of risk for its continuation.
En la actualidad, por el momento, pues a nivel de Centroamérica, pero a nivel de Latinoamérica.
At the Central American level, at the Latin American level, we could say that in the present situation, with the lack of growth, with the economic crisis principally, there is a risk. In fact, Mayan culture is not only at a disadvantage, but is in danger of disappearing, bit by bit. But let us not be so pessimistic. We, as part of these people, of course, we are going to carry on. Even with the disadvantage, it doesn't mean that we will not carry on.
Eso no significa de que no. Eso, ¿verdad? Para nosotros estaría desarrollándose de una forma, pues igual, ¿verdad? Porque ya las.
We will continue to develop our culture all the same. We see that many of our brothers and sisters of the Mayan culture even now are focusing more on our culture and are trying to support a little more the development of the Mayan medicine at the present time.
We always use this place for our work with our medicine and plants. We work together with the plants, with lemon tea. There are plants that cure people, men and women. And also we work with the traditional midwives, with our ceremonies and natural medicines, the plants that cure people, working together with the midwives, always supporting them. We will work together with our brothers and sisters in all parts, in all the districts, villages and hamlets. We want to continue with our natural medicines as well. Thanks be to God, we are content.
Sobre el uso de las plantas en ese sector.
The use of medicinal plants is well known in this area, and here we are taking the message to other communities. They come here to see, to our health center.
We want Mayan culture to continue, and we continue to fight to do that. Our brothers and sisters always help us as well. We carry on with the solidarity and support of our brothers and sisters. Mayan medicine works first through the consultations the families have with the Mayan priest. He listens to the comments of the family and performs a Mayan ceremony, and from that comes the reference to the doctor, who gives treatment or operation. The Maya ceremony gives results from the faith of the family, both in the doctor and his treatment, and in the Maya ceremony. Because there is a doctor and a god. There is a world and a doctor. If you ask the air, it also gives a result. If you ask the doctor at the health post, it also gives a result. If you ask the world, it also gives a result. But the root has come from the Maya priest through the Maya ceremony.
Como no es de usted, es para Dios que le regalamos.
As we know, it is God who gives what the human being needs. That is the most important.
Cultura, red como sacerdotes. Bien, ahorita, casa como.
Through the work that he, as a Maya priest, does in the community. It's different from the evangelical churches from 15 or 20 years ago. With the pastors, the people changed. It was no longer a help for you, but you are going to lose your life. The doctors and nurses charge for their work. Here in Guatemala, the predominant health systems are the formal or official system and Mayan medicine, also known as traditional or natural medicine. This latter is the most affordable option for the prevention and cure of diseases that are most common in the population, as well as other diseases that doctors cannot cure. Despite this, it is very difficult for its healers and traditional Maya medicine to get recognition, development, and work in the country.
La importancia de la investigación y sus aspectos diferentes, ¿verdad? Para esta actualidad principalmente es muy
Research, in all its aspects, it's very important. Much of our culture is not known by other cultures. The mestizo, mixed race, the chinca, or the garifuna. We have not given the time or space.
Podemos decir, ¿verdad? De la parte mestiza, ¿verdad? De la parte de la chinca y garífuna. Y entonces la cultura maya en sí, en Guatemala,
Maya culture, mainly in Guatemala, exists but usually very hidden.
Como una parte principalmente, pudiéramos decir, muy escondida, se practica muy dentro de la familia, ¿verdad? Y entonces esa expresión a veces de lo que es la riqueza de la cultura,
it is practiced within the family and is not given space and recognition by the Occidental culture.
De hecho, digamos, dentro de la cultura maya, pues ha habido, digamos, esa parte de la investigación. No es hasta ahorita, digamos, de que se investigue, ¿verdad? Sino que ha existido y por eso mismo conocemos el día de hoy, ¿verdad? De parte de la investigación muchas cosas de lo que es nuestra cultura, ¿verdad? Y que sin duda, digamos, por ejemplo, en la actualidad, por ejemplo, se hablaba principalmente de los Elajuj Baktum, ¿verdad? Una situación, ¿verdad? Que hasta ahorita, digamos, la cultura occidental y otras culturas lo han ido como viendo, y cuando digamos la cultura maya lo ha ido trayendo millones y millones de años, e inclusive digamos la cultura maya, inclusive dentro de las investigaciones, ¿verdad?, existentes ahorita, se ha comentado que remonta por lo menos hace como 3.000 años, ¿verdad? Y cuando en otras, digamos, investigaciones, ¿verdad? Por ejemplo, en Monolito, allá en Quiriguá, ¿verdad?, hay un mamut, ¿verdad?, que representa, ¿verdad?, y que está, digamos, plasmado principalmente en una de las estelas, ¿verdad?, en Quiriguá, en la cual representa de que en ese tiempo la cultura maya, imagínense si estamos hablando del mamut que ya está extendido, ¿verdad?, entonces significa que la cultura maya va más allá de los 3.000 años. Es interesante, ¿verdad?, que igual, ¿verdad?, que la propia cultura en sí, o los descendientes, ¿verdad?, sean los que quienes hagan la investigación. Porque, o sea, no quiere decir, no excluyo en su totalidad de que también las personas extranjeras, ¿verdad?, o personas, perdón, de otros países puedan, digamos, igual investigar, eso no quita, ¿verdad?, pero se da otra interpretación, porque no es lo mismo vivirla, uno estando viviendo, ¿verdad?, y retroalimentar a través de una investigación, pues enriquece y fortalece, digamos, más el conocimiento.
¿Por qué se hizo la investigación en el año 2009?
I began this research in 2009 and 2010 because of the cutting off of development in the Maya medicine and culture in general. Because of this. In the 70s, true, there was a certain rise in research into traditional medicine, but that has stayed, above all, in relation to the treatments, natural medicine, and the use of medicinal plants. Of Maya medicine, the material aspects are what is known above all, but the other, intangible aspects are not known or given importance, such as spirituality and its place in the social organization, nor is there recognition of its social and economic contribution to the Guatemalan population. Viable and sustainable recognition is a pending task for Guatemalan society. The investigation was carried out in the municipalities of San Juan Ostuncasico, Quetzaltenango, and Nahuel Solola, both in the western highlands of Guatemala, belonging to the ethnic groups Mam and Maya Quiche, respectively. Before this documentary, research took place in 2009 and 2010. Our research had as its purpose to expand knowledge of traditional Mayan medicine in Guatemala in areas that had not been studied, such as the social organization linked to traditional medicine in its internal forms as part of community organization, its functioning and logic. We worked in villages and hamlets, since those are the places where an important part of the Guatemalan population is located.
Los hallazgos de la investigación fueron varios, pero podríamos mencionar por la importancia que el primero es el uso.
The research came to several conclusions, but we can mention as most important the use of traditional medicine as a valid practice in both ethnic groups. with the only difference that in the Quiche there is more effort for the continuity of the traditions. The second result was the use of traditional medicine in the different social and regional contexts of Guatemalan ethnic groups, and the third finding was to recognize the validity of Mayan traditional medicine in the communities studied under their form of functioning and organization, internally, and form of local social organization, from their foundation until now.
En las comunidades estudiadas bajo sus formas de funcionamiento y organización, a lo interno como con la organización social local desde su fundación hasta la fecha. Para compartirles además que se tuvo que reconstruir la historia de las comunidades.
I also want to share that if you want to construct the history of the communities as a sort of foundation for those people and families, a great bond was formed between them and the traditional Maya healers, who have had important roles not only of traditional leadership, but also in public state offices. Another result of the research is that the community leaders are concerned about the present situation of the traditional midwives, as expressed thus. Now they look down on the traditional midwives, but in the future, if there aren't any, everyone will have to go to hospital, like it or not, with money or without money. It is necessary to come to an agreement and integrate the work of the midwives, as at the moment they work alone. We think it necessary that Maya traditional medicine and natural medicine be recognized and strengthened for the diseases that are common in this culture, where treatment by doctors has limitations, such as women's diseases, where it has been recognized as effective and is accepted in the communities. Forms of social organization are needed for the Maya traditional healers and the priests or spiritual guides, as everyone who works should be valued. And it is known that there are places in Guatemala where it is forbidden to light our candles because it violates public property.
En relación, digamos, a las formas, ¿verdad?, de organización social dentro de la medicina maya, de una investigación participativa.
With regards to forms of social organization for Maya traditional medicine, we had an investigation of the techniques used as forms of participative relations. We visited the principal actors of the community of Agua Blanca. I learned a lot, mainly about the origins of the community and the traditional medicine in a specific community.
El origen, ¿verdad?, de una comunidad y por qué no decir, digamos, de la medicina, ¿verdad?, maya dentro de una comunidad específica, ¿verdad?, porque a veces uno va más allá.
It is a bit more general in the case of Agua Blanca. At that time, I was developing something for an organization, as well as for myself, in relation to the history of the community as such and its genealogical tree.
De gran importancia porque ya conocíamos, digamos, en relación la historia de la comunidad en sí, ¿verdad?, su árbol genealógico, digamos.
I would say we learned a lot about how the community arises within the Maya cosmovision, its spirituality. In this sense, the way a community is born has much to do with its spirituality. To do this research, it was important to ask for permission to be in the community and interview people.
El propósito principal de hacer el video fue el poder.
The main purpose for making the video was to perfect the methodology for the research previously done and the commitment of the communities that agreed to support the film's production. These methodologies must include techniques that are accessible for populations with low educational levels and high levels of illiteracy in any language, whether it is Spanish or native Mayan. Information gained by incorporating the above techniques will enable the population to be better informed and aware of the options that exist in the official as well as the traditional health systems. People will be able to clearly see what is successful and available.
Que pudieran ver, pues traté, digamos, de dar mi punto de vista, ¿verdad? No como parte del pueblo Maya Mam, ¿verdad? No estoy como...
I have tried to present my point of view as part of the Maya Man people, as a part of the people, as a representative. Give my opinions.
Esperando, digamos, de que este video...
We hope this video might be a contribution to the lives of our parents, colleagues, friends, brothers, to bring us together and complement our lives. Our country needs many of these changes, as at the moment our values, our principles, for many of us, have been captured by consumerism, absorbed by it, changing a part of our identity, losing our real identity. I am a part of this also, this national reality. We are trying to change this way of life in the best way possible, and learned a little of what Maya culture is, handed down to us by our grandparents. Many thanks for your attention.
Our grandparents did not eat what was not good for them, they just said no. This in relation to traditional practices such as food and nutrition. Leaders of the Kitche hamlets Pasak, Pakana 1A, 1B, 2 and Chuisuk, Chechuyuk village, Nawala, Solola.
Como nosotros invitamos los de Aldeia Palacá, como encargado como Flores.
With us, Flores and Pascual Torres are in charge of the Palacal hamlet, and they always invite us to come on the Mayan date, Oxlajuch Kanil. We had a ceremony in Pacanal 2, Chuisuk, and close to Palacal. Because we always use natural medicine, we thank God before we start the ceremony. We work together with our peers. We wish to move forwards with Mayan traditions and not be left behind. We wish to move forward as healers and work alongside Western medical doctors.
A través del apoyo, la continuación del trabajo, algunos...
The support for and continuation of this work is important. Although there are some communities who forget the work of Mayan priests, other families continue to value it because they observe the results obtained. They are very grateful for traditional medicine. Even communities who have a different religion continue to value it and come to the Mayan priests for healing. I thank you for your great effort. God will reward you.
Por último, deseo invitar, compartiendo con la experiencia de haber hecho esta investigación.
Last of all, I would like to invite you to share the experience of doing this research, given its own forms of functioning in the methodology applied, and they be respected, that the results be returned to the people and communities And even more importantly, this video seeks to have, as a result, direct benefits for the people in the communities where it was made. Thank you. If you would like to support initiatives and projects such as the making of this video or others in various parts of the world, you can donate to www.gracecares.org.
La monja blanca, una flor de gran verdura, luces de mi patria, su gala crece de las rudes montañas de mi bella Guatemala. Por su belleza sin par es nuestra flor nacional. Se llama monja blanca y su nombre inmortal. Gracias.